computer. The reality is it's never going to go away. There is always going to be this reframing, right? Like you've heard me say, there's numerous ways you can say it, but like one of the ways you hear me say is there's always going to be a new devil at every level, every level. It's just life. It's like this. Like it's never going to be. And so having those tools in place to be able to break that down, identify it, and move, that's what's going to help you. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have been in my best place, and then all of a sudden I get to the top and there's another new devil, like throughout my life. And you have too, if you think about it. Everybody here has been through it numerous times. You have reinvented yourself numerous times. You don't really think about it. But when you really step back and you're like, how many times was I at the bottom of the mountain and I got all the way to the top? That's like accomplishing that thing. And then you get up there, and damn it, if you don't just throw everything away, sometimes it's on purpose for really good reason. Like you want to make a shift, you want to improve yourself. And so you throw yourself back down to the bottom of the mountain. Make sense? So learning these tools are super important for you. So keep working through it. I would encourage you, Shannon, if it feels uncomfortable and hard, then it's working. Do it again. Get up every morning and do it until one day you go, oh, this is it. Because it's going to show its face, whatever that is. And then the struggle becomes less once you identify it, because now you've got it. You're like, oh, this is what that is. Okay. All right. Well, I don't really dig you anymore. You're not serving me anymore. You're not doing me any good. I appreciate everything that you've done for me. Like it, whatever it is, Shannon, and all of you guys like lean into this, like know this. Whatever, it's basically a little voice. It's a subconscious, it's your subconscious mind, reaching out to you. And it's protected you this entire time from something, you don't know what. And you just gotta like get to a place where you can be like, peace, thanks for all your help, but I'm gonna do something a little bit different now. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. So just keep digging, girl. Like
Okay.
you're in the right place, keep digging. And this is like, yeah, there's gonna be some hard work. Discipline is gonna have to, take place.
Yeah.
But you got it.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Anybody else have any major wins they want to share or discoveries from like digging deep into those questions? Shannon's like, I'm leaving now. um, anything else before I'm gonna dive into some holiday things?
I have been doing some soul searching myself, and through these questions, there are a couple things that came up with the truth of, the thoughts that I tell myself as far as justifying eating extra food that's not on my meal plan because, it's healthy for me and it's not that big of deal. And I'm in prep, but not like tight in prep. And so through those 12, those 13 questions, I've discovered that there's some past stuff with my relationship with food, and it stems from my childhood. And so having that breakthrough moment, which I already knew, but this is like, it's just glaring in my face again. And it's just the pain is great enough where I'm willing to do something about it now because it continues to show up, right? And this is that vicious cycle. If I allow this part of my life and I don't confront it, then I'm going to be right back where I started before I even started this program. And that's not where I want to be. So, and then through that discovery, it's also opened my mind to my like different areas of my life. And through this training that got presented to me, I've like expanded my, I don't know, awareness on what I truly want to do in life. And so rather than making an irrational decision or just making a decision off of that, I'm just remaining open, and it's allowed me to do other things, to incorporate other things in my life, such as like get up in the morning and I meditate and I journal. I opened up, I started reading every evening. I go to bed with prayer. So, like, there's all of these things that I'm putting into place to deepen my connection with the universe and with my higher power or God. And now that I have that connection, and now that I'm working and building on that relationship, I'm not living in fear. I'm not living in self-doubt. I don't have that sense of work, where I feel worthless. I feel empowered. And like this program has like given me little glimpses of that. It's just a matter of the willingness that I want to be able to better myself and to continue to dig deep into my purpose and, you know, confront those past behaviors or those past stories that I tell myself. So who knows? Who knows what this next year is going to bring, but I'm fucking excited.
I am too. Awesome. I love that share. And guys, like you got it. Like this is exactly that timing couldn't be perfect. So like this is what I mean. Every level, guys, has a new devil. Like, you look at Coach Jen and you're like, well, she competes. She's done this. You look at me and you're like, well, you've done this. You've done that. And it's so easy. I bet you all of you have thought it's so easy for you guys. No, it is not. No, it is not. This is what I mean. Like here, this stuff doesn't go away. And so when we present you with this activity, like it's super serious. It is about you taking this to a different level and digging deep and whatever it is, everybody has a connection with something. And I'm not here to say what that connection needs to be, God, universe, source, whatever. But when you start to deeply connect more so with even yourself, like that's when you can start to make big shifts because we live, as Jen said, sometimes in a place of fear. And that's where a lot of the feelings come from. So if you can work through it, figure it out, peel back the layers and go, aha. And then, I appreciate Jen saying this because, like we encourage you guys to do something in the morning with yourself. I've never been very explicit with what I want you guys to do because you need to find your own journey, your own path, but a morning ritual, an evening ritual. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. And you're going to have to reinvent it time and time again. And I'm going to aim to guess that Jen thought she had a pretty solid morning routine, evening routine. And, I had her do this training and like it's myself as well. Like I'm constantly reinventing it. But when you can create that space for yourself, meditation, guys, is not sitting cross-legged on a whatever meditation bed in the middle of whatever. Like I don't even know what they're called, okay? And I meditate. It's not that singing, that is not it. What meditation is quieting all the noise. And we all have so much fucking noise that's coming in all the time. And it's quieting it. And it's hard to do. We are so used to just letting the noise pile in. Specifically now, social media. I mean, it was bad enough when we were growing up and we had the news. Now it's like it's constantly coming at us in all different ways. And so it's social media, it's what you hear on the news, it's what people tell you, it's what you grew up with. It's just bombarding you forever. It's quieting your mind and allowing yourself to just sit. Some people can go deeper than others. But when you really nail it, guys, it's probably the most peaceful place you'll be. Some people walk and meditate. I can walk and meditate. Sometimes I just sit in the morning quietly. I watch the sun start to come up. I listen to music. I like to listen to music, and it just will like put me into a space. Sometimes I listen to guided meditations. It depends. Sometimes I'm just listening to a podcast, but it's whatever it is to you, but it's quieting your mind. When I say a podcast, I'm listening to like a meditation podcast, like not a blaring. I listen to those when I'm trying to like rev myself up. But and then at night, like finding something different. If you watch, TV at night, switching it up. Maybe you read a book, maybe you do something different. So thanks for sharing, Jen. But guys, like, know this. And the other thing that I'll say is, she called out something that she's known. Like, she's worked through these 13 questions. So going back to you, Shannon, I know Rita struggles a little bit sometimes with sugars and sweetness. Like, that doesn't go away. Like, it didn't go away. She's in prep. Like, and she's like, I'm the same way. I don't eat shit. I've never eaten, like, well, yes, I have eaten shit. I used to eat a lot of shit. I used to be pretty awful about eating shit. I can't tell you the last time I've eaten crap food. I just don't do it. My idea of crap food is rice cakes. Okay. But this is what I mean. New level, new devil. Right. But as Jen said, the trigger doesn't go away. I too have ran into one. I'm like, why the fuck after 6 o'clock at night do I think I'm hungry? I'm not hungry. Because I'm like her, I'm not really in prep right now, but I'm getting close to it. And I will derail myself too. I'll just go get something. I'm like, what the fuck is that about? It's a subconscious thought that I have. It's a comfort for me. I did a little digging. I've gone through the 13 questions and I realized it's something that came up from being in the hospital. I didn't have a choice when I was there. So I would watch television to comfort myself because I didn't want, I literally had to ask a bunch of questions like, oh, that's where it came from. I would watch like HGTV or just something to have noise going on so I couldn't hear. Like, I was in a hospital. There was a lot of people yelling and screaming, and it would like kind of like mess with my energy. Like, specifically when I remember I was in the rehab, I didn't like it. I didn't like the energy. I'm very sensitive. I'm very in tune to energy. And so when I could hear these people around me that were way worse off than me, I was in it messed with me. So I would turn the television on so I couldn't hear it. It would distract, I didn't know what I was doing at the time. And then they would bring me because they weren't feeding me very well. So my friends would bring me like protein bars. So I'd snack to like soothe myself. And that's how I'd go to sleep. But I wasn't eating anything unhealthy. Like my last meal was just later and I would tend to, and I wasn't even snacking. I was just eating in bed, watching television. Do you see how that happened? And I had no control over it. I couldn't do anything else. I was laying in bed, but doing that repeatedly. Now it's like that's what I do. I go to bed and I'm like, aren't I supposed to have something here with me? Now I gotta change it. Make sense? So I too have to change my habits. So good shares, guys. But if anybody else has something, I'm here for it. I'd love to hear. But if not, we can go right into the holidays because this leads us into that. It's not hard. You guys can do it. But really identifying, and that's why we did this tool. I wanted you guys to dig deep and see what some of those things are. Because as we shift into the holiday season, I'm going to be honest with you, our main goal is for you guys to maintain. That's it. You need to just, as soon as like the holidays start to roll, our goal is for you not to lose, not to gain. I mean, if you lose, fucking awesome. But the idea is that you at least hold yourself. Because first of all, we don't want you restricting yourselves of things that you really enjoy. But there's a difference between not restricting yourself and overindulging. So that's what we want to talk about today. So if you listened to my Facebook yesterday, I kind of gave some thoughts on it. We also have deeper trainings on this as well on my YouTube that you guys can watch. So you can go back and watch, like we do this every year. So you can go back and watch the old ones as well. They're under Tribe Talk, where all of these recordings land. So you can go back and listen to old ones as well. But it's pretty much the same thing. So one of the first things that you guys want to do right now, and if you got a pen and paper, awesome. If you don't, watch this recording and write this down later. But you want to create a plan, just like with everything. So you want to look at all the events that you have coming up and put them on a calendar. Okay, so think about it. Like, I have a party at Sally's house. I have a work event here. I go out with the girls here. Our family happens on Christmas Eve, not Christmas Day, but Christmas Day. I go to grandma's house. Thanksgiving is here. Thanksgiving, I don't think is going to be as tough, but I know that the other holidays, there's a lot of stuff going on. But map it all out. That's number one. Every single thing, every outing, put it down. Then you start to prioritize them. And what I mean by prioritize them is who in here, every single event you have, you can't wait to eat the food. Really? Be honest with yourself. Like every event you have, like, well, okay, all right, Louisa, how many events do you have that you can't wait to eat the food though? Is it just
Uh, Not a lot, not a lot. It's like sometimes I have a friend that does like amazing, she bakes really, she's a baker, so it's like really hard to, not indulge. But I found like even if I just take a little taste, I'm okay. Like I don't need to finish the whole thing. It's been on and off. Like I love sweets. I love baking myself. Like that's like the thing for Christmas. So I have to just put my mindset on and learn like, okay, not like you can make them healthy. Like I know
yeah?
that you can make them healthy. So that's what I'm excited about is making it healthy for the whole family because they're excited. So we're all on board.
I love that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
see? Yeah. So you just tapped into two other things that I wanted to chat about. But yeah, so like look at everything, and there might be a couple of events that you really look forward to. Like Louisa said, like she's got a friend that bakes amazing. So what I mean by that is that's something that you circle on the calendar. Make it a different color. Because when I hear Louisa talk about this, what I hear her saying is, I can fucking wait all goddamn year for this woman to bake because it's amazing. Okay. That you do not want to restrict yourself from because if you do, you'll be likely to want to binge. However, if there's a place that you go, let's just say grandma's house, and she's always mistaking salt for sugar and her shits taste like crap, all right, I am not going to participate in this. Like I'll probably eat before I go. Are you feeling me? Like that's not a choice. If you have a work event and it's at a hibachi grill and you don't like that, you have no desire, it's not anything that you look forward to, then why the fuck participate? Does that make sense? You don't have to. But if it's something that you look forward to, there's a difference between attaching food to holidays, emotional events, utilizing it to celebrate, than there is honestly looking forward to something. Nobody gives a shit if you eat the food or not. So, like last year, I had this conversation with somebody, and I remember she was like, she had a downfall with candy canes. And I go, do you like candy canes? She goes, no, but you told me not to restrict myself. I'm like, do you look forward to candy canes every single year? No, then why? Well, you told me not to restrict myself. Yes, but that isn't restricting yourself. That's discipline. That's a candy cane that I really don't fucking like. It's got no value to it. It's okay. It's great. It's there. You don't just eat shit because it's there. That's what I'm trying to say. But if you love candy canes and they only come out once a year, well, then okay, have one. But then to add on to that, so then once you've deciphered those events, like these are the ones that I am going to partake in. There's a couple of things that you want to think about. So the ones that you're not, plan around them. Eat before you go. Bring your food with you. Have it in the car. Bring it in. Who cares? Like, if it doesn't really mean much to you, is it really worth throwing, like, going off your nutrition plan? Like, think about that. Like, or going off your macros, or like, is it worth it? Probably not, not to me, if it's not something that I enjoy. But if it's something that I enjoy, yes, I'm going to take advantage of that. So if you're going to do that, you don't skip any meals. You never skip meals, but you specifically do not skip meals, because the first thing that you guys are going to think about, I know ya, I'm just going to skip some meals because I'm going to overindulge and that will help me stay in my macros. No, it will not. You eat every single meal and you swap out that Christmas dinner, that Thanksgiving dinner, whatever it is, for one meal. You utilize it as a refeed, number one. Why? Because if you do that, you will be full. You will not want to binge eat. If you, at any point, think I'm just going to starve myself all day, I want you to think back to your past. What you will do is dive headfirst into everything that is there. Whether you like it or not, you will overeat. And this is a fact. This is a fact. The average American eats 4,000 to 5,000 calories on Thanksgiving Day. There is not one of you in here that eats 4,000 to 5,000 calories even in a day, let alone sitting. You want to know who eats 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day? A bodybuilder, a male bodybuilder in bulk. I'm not joking. A male bodybuilder, probably about 6'1", 238 pounds, trying to bulk. That is who eats 4,000 to 5,000 calories in a day. And it is, Google it. The average American eats 4,000 to 5,000 calories in one meal. Imagine if you are doing that. That's why you gain weight. So this is why, as we back out, I say, one, choose wisely. Don't restrict yourself, but really be honest with yourself. I don't look forward to that. I'm going to, because what are the holidays about? Are they about eating food? Or are they about spending time with your family? Yes, Alyssa, you raised your hand.
I'm new, so I've heard of refeed meals, but can you explain what that means?
Just what I said.
It doesn't have to do just a regular old
Yeah.
meal.
Well, when you get to refeed meals, we'll explain it to you. But yes, we don't call them cheat meals. We call them refeed meals. So once you've been in the program for a while, we start giving refeed meals. So during the holidays, that's exactly what you would be doing. You would be taking a meal and that isn't on your nutrition plan, on your meal plan, and you would sub it out for that holiday dinner. So that would be like one meal. And your coach will guide you through it because, and guys, so those of you that are new, and if you haven't had a refeed meal, remember what you want. So let's keep moving on this subject. So eat all day. Now, as Louisa said, I just take bites. Exactly. Think about the 4-bite rule. All right. So the first thing that I would do if I was going to a holiday dinner and I was planning on eating there because I look forward to it all the time, The next thing I would do is I would think about the foods that are always there. I'm literally thinking about it. And I would plan accordingly. So these are the certain foods that are always available at Thanksgiving. This is what I fucking love. I love green bean casserole, so I'm going to have a little bit of it. I love the stuffing. I'm going to have a little bit of it. I'm going to plan it out in your head, just like you did the events, plan out the meals, because you know what's going to be there. And even if you're going to a restaurant for a work event and it's your favorite steakhouse, I guarantee you, you know what you want. Look ahead at the menu, plan it out. What are the things that you're really looking forward to? Those are the things you don't want to restrict yourself from. Then the next thing you want to think about is you want to put protein on your plate first. Put protein, the lean turkey, whatever it might be, put it on your plate. Add the vegetables, add the carbohydrates. The other things, the green bean casserole, the cranberries, the pumpkin pie, put a little bit on your plate. Don't restrict yourself. If you look forward to it, have it. But don't overindulge in it. If you have protein, carbohydrates, your veggies, and you have these other things that you want, take a bite. Have a second bite. Have a third bite. Have a fourth bite. The four bite rule goes like this, and I'll use it around pumpkin pie. Like, say pumpkin pie is your favorite thing, apple pie, I don't know, whatever the hell it might be on the holidays. Never say I'm not going to have it. And I love the idea. This is why I drop some of these videos or these recipes. One, make a healthier version. This is your opportunity, guys. Nobody's going to know. Literally, Jen's been doing this for a long time. I remember when Jen first started. She loves to bake too. I don't remember Louisa. Jen loves to bake too. She bakes. She still does. There's a lot of people that we've had go through this program that one of the things they love to do is bake. So bake. Nobody's, and if you love to bake, to give it away, bake, give it away. Bake, give it away, put it in the freezer so you're not tempted, but also attempt to bake some healthier versions. Jen does that a lot. So like utilizing a healthier version. Now you don't feel as bad about having it. You're creating healthier habits for your family. Most of them are not even going to notice, surprise them at the end and be like, by the way, that was good for you. How'd you like that? But also, even if it's a healthier version, think about the 4-bite rule. So imagine yourself with something like right now, like imagine one of your favorite things, like whatever it is, like your favorite thing, ice cream, pumpkin pie, rice cakes and peanut butter. I don't know, whatever it is. But that first bite that you have, if it's something that you look forward to and you only get it once or twice a year, when you first take that bite, it is like heaven. But the second bite isn't as heavenly as the first, is it? Be honest. The third bite. Is the third bite, Louisa, as heavenly as the second bite?
No, nope.
By the fourth bite, if you guys are really honest and you play this game with you, you might go past 4, but most of you won't get past 4. It won't be like that first bite anymore. So put your fork down. Don't have any more. Don't eat it just because. Enjoy it. Don't restrict yourself. If it's something that you absolutely love, but take bites of it. You guys will have a super successful holiday if you do that. So fill your plate with protein. Think of other things too. Like, do you have to dump the gravy on the top? Could you put it on the side? If you know something's like heavy in fat, like it's mac and cheese, but mac and cheese is so amazing. Put a little bit on your plate. And don't forget how dairy affects you. Like, do you want a gut ache after that? Like, think about those things too. So I'm going to have some of this, but I'm not going to overindulge because I don't want to be sick. The other thing is
Bring your Lactaid.
Yeah, no, don't overindulge.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't need Lactaid if you don't overindulge. Got to change that mindset. You're going to need lactate if you overindulge on something that you don't want. And here's that. If you have to take lactate to eat the mac and cheese, is it really worth it? You see what I'm doing here? I'm breaking down your framework, guys. You have this framework that you live in. It's not your fault. It's what you've grown up with. This is what I do. I'm challenging you to look at things differently. I'm not saying let's throw everything out the window. Let's restrict ourselves during the holidays, but you need to zoom out. This has been the message. The message is look at the events. What's priority? What do I really want? Where do I want to indulge a little because I wait and look forward to this food every year? I guarantee you, you're bullshitting me and yourself if you say every single event that you have going on that you want to dive headfirst into that food. Food is not that you need to look out and be like, is this really an emotional thing? Or do I really, really enjoy this? That's the piece that you have to look at. We had a woman in the tribe last year, and she did a poll because, and again, this is where I say we are a victim of our circumstances. She bakes all the time too. She's for years dived into holidays. It was always about the food. She was super nervous about it. And she asked her kids, her adult kids, what do you love most about the holidays? What have you always loved about it? Not one of them said the baking or the food. You want to know what they said? Spending time with the family, with the kids. Going to see lights, like activities. Guys, think about that. I think sometimes we think it's about busting our ass. I believe it's on the evening call. Last week, Terry brought it up. She bakes cookies every year. And she asked last year, she was in this program as well. And she asked her family, she's like, do you even care if I bake cookies? And they were like, no, we actually don't. And she realized that she was baking cookies for, you want to know who? Who do you think she was baking the damn cookies for? Herself. She was like, holy shit, I realized I was the one eating all the goddamn cookies. So you guys got to zoom out. But if you love to bake and give the cookies away, my mom loves to do that. I actually enjoy like doing it with her, but I don't eat the cookies. It's fun to spend you know what it is to me? It's spending time with her, doing something that she loves to do. She does make an amazing fucking shortbread cookie because she's from Swedish. She's Swedish. Do I have a bite of it every once in a while? Yeah, because it melts in my fucking mouth. Like, I don't know how the hell she does it, but that's it. Like, I don't. And then I help her package them up. We go out. She loves to deliver them. That's her big thing. That's what it's about. You got to zoom out and look at that. It's not about sitting and eating all the cookies, at least not to me. So you can still bake and do the things, but try making healthier versions of it. And then if you want to bake for other people, do it and then stick it in your freezer. You're not as tempted. Now, the next thing you guys want to make sure that you're doing, and we'll continue to talk about this as we lead into the holidays, is make sure that you drink all your water that day. Like, that's another thing besides your food. Drink all your water. It's going to keep you full. And if you're going to drink a cocktail, you want to enjoy a glass of wine, first of all, think about the sugary mixers. So red wines are better than white, less sugar. And that's the biggest enemy of alcohol is sugar. Like, think margaritas. Margarita isn't bad. It's the sugary fucking mixer in it. So your white alcohols aren't bad. Vodka. Tequila is actually pretty good for you. It's a probiotic. But it's what you mix it with. So keep it clean. Don't add sugar to it. Now, I'm not going to go deep into this, but there is a Facebook, I will share it with you guys, so you guys can go see it in the Facebook group. Healy and I might have been Jen too. I know it's for sure it was Haley and I did a training last year about cocktails on the holidays. And she talks a lot about like different ideas for healthy cocktails. If you want to drink alcohol, we talk about we also talk about the negative effects alcohol can have on you. And but we give you options if this is really what you want to do. And we also talk, she gives some amazing mocktail ideas that I've never thought of until she's told me to them. I drink them. Like she uses apple cider vinegar as a mocktail. It's fucking amazing. It tastes like a cocktail, like when you mix it with certain things. So I'd encourage you guys to go watch that, but let's just zoom out for a minute. You want to stick to like, so think about adding seltzer water, things like that with a splash of cranberry juice, or looking for a sugar-free option. Like one of my favorite cocktails I drink, I like white tequila. I actually love tequila, but I drink it with club soda. I add a jalapeno to it, lime, a little stevia, and I salt the rim. It's fucking the bomb. It's a spicy, like look for things like that. Then think of red wines. And again, go watch that video. But if you're drinking alcohol, for every glass of alcohol you have, drink a glass of water. 2 reasons. 1, it's going to slow you the fuck down. You're not going to drink as much. So you just commit to it. Every drink I have, I drink a glass of water. 2, if you've drinking your entire water for the day, like all of your water for the day, and on top of it, you drink a glass of water for every cocktail that you have, not only will you drink less, you're going to keep yourself hydrated. Sugar and dehydration are the 2 biggest enemies. You'll thank me for it. Not only will you save yourself a few calories, you'll save yourself a hangover. You won't feel like shit the next day. You'll actually feel pretty good. So every cocktail, you have to drink water. Cool? So those are some big things that you want to remember when it comes to the holidays. Those tips alone will help you out. But the biggest one is planning things out. Fail to prepare and prepare to what?
Fail.
Fail, right? This is like anything else. If you go head first into the holidays without a plan, guys, we know exactly what's going to happen. You have to. So as silly as you may think this is, you need to plan. You need to plan what I'm going to attend, what I'm going to attend and eat at, what I might attend. So like and when I say that, like I think of work parties. I'm probably not going to eat out. I can go socialize, do what I need to do. But unless they're going to this amazing steakhouse or something that you really love, there's really no reason for you to eat. And who gives a shit what anybody thinks, right? That's you in your own head. Somebody's going to think that I'm not, oh my God, they're going to be afraid that I'm not eating because I don't like their cooking. No, I just choose not to. It's okay to say, I choose not to. Maybe you don't like their cooking. I wouldn't tell them that. I'd just say, I choose not to. It's okay to say that if it's nothing that you want. But if it's something that you definitely want to partake in, absolutely. Like there's not a holiday event that happens around me that I look like besides like I just told you, my mom's shortbread cookies, which I haven't had in over 3 years. So if I do go see her this Christmas, I probably won't have one if she makes some. But I haven't had anything and I don't know how long. Like nothing is that important to me. That's not to say that that's right or wrong. That's just like when I zoom out and look at things, there's nothing but a lot of my family that used to make amazing foods is gone. So I'm like, well, no need. But it doesn't mean that I don't go out with my friends. Doesn't mean that I don't socialize. Doesn't mean I don't enjoy the holidays. I just pick and choose. Coach Jen is busy walking around, so she's probably not going to share much, but she is a baker. She still bakes, but she bakes a lot of protein cookies, and her kids like it.
The kids love it. They don't care. But see, my son, him and I had a conversation last night because he's just struggling with a particular area, and he can talk to me about, his feelings rather than his dad because, he thinks he has to act all tough around his dad. And so we were having a conversation. I took him out of the house and we went and we talked, and he's just like, I just really enjoy being with my family. Like that's his thing. And he really enjoys like going camping and going riding. And one of his favorite things is that I love to bake around the holidays, and he enjoys doing that with me. And we usually bake cookies and whatever, because it's just been a tradition of ours.
Mhm.
And so and we would give it away to other people, but since I've been on this fitness journey, we create different recipes that are healthier versions of it, and it's like an experiment, and it's fun. It's just something that we do together. Um, so again, like, it just, what brings you joy, what fills your cup up at the end of the day? It's not really, eating the cookies. It's the enjoyment and the joy of being there and spending time with my son and having these memories with him.
Mhm. I love that. And that's
Yeah.
what it is, guys. Like, that's where you want to zoom out. Like, I think it's great to have traditions, but like looking at it, are there other traditions that you can have? Are there other traditions that you already have? Or can you change them and tweak them up? Or can you zoom out? Or like, are they just like Terry? She's like, I've been baking cookies for years and I bake them to eat myself. She's like, I'm just not doing it anymore. She's like, 'cause, like literally, and when she asked her family, she was like, when they told me, I was like, oh, that's right. They don't eat any of these. I'm the one eating them. So she's like, I was just sabotaging myself. She's like, so I don't need to make damn cookies because nobody eats them but her. Um, or she could make a healthier version of them, that's what she could do too. But like, I think it's important to have traditions. So that just made me think of something like Jen was talking about, like things that you enjoy. Obviously, I'm single, but I do this anyway, even when I've had boyfriends in the past. Like, one thing that I do, I always get myself a new pair of pajamas for the holidays. Don't ask me why. I go out and I buy a pair of Christmas pajamas. It's just what I do. It's a tradition for me. I was just thinking about it the other day. I'm like, I need to go get a pair of Christmas pajamas. I have my old ones from last year. I only wear them once, by the way, but I still go get new. Like, it's okay to have those traditions, but what can you have that, like, because again, it's just something that brings you joy, as Jen said. It doesn't necessarily have to be around food or cocktails. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to go out and enjoy something with my friends if they ask me to, but I do put these rules in place myself. Well, a friend of mine just said we need to go celebrate the holidays. He's like, you're up and at it this year. He's like, you can actually move around. He's like, we need to go have a drink. And I was at first, my first reaction was like, no, I was like, I can go have a drink. I can drink water. I can have a drink and then choose to drink water if I want. I can choose to have a cocktail if I want. And like, I can manage that. I'm in control. This is my choice and what I choose to do. Make sense, guys? So you can totally navigate through the holidays. And again, our expectation is to guide you and navigate you through these. Not to, like, if you lose weight, you lose weight. Awesome. But if you don't, the idea is that you just maintain. And then we will put the pedal to the metal right after the holidays. And you'll probably do this like through the holidays. Most people maintain, but you shouldn't go up in weight. Some will go down because some of you just, I will probably lose weight during the holidays because I just don't really lean into it. Some of you have a lot of traditions and things that you want to do, but if we may help you maintain, that's all we're looking to do. Because we don't want you in a place where you're restricting and you go and you overindulge. But again, remember, there's a difference between not restricting yourself and overindulging. We don't want you to restrict yourself during the holidays of things that really bring you joy, that you look forward to every year. Because if you do that, that's what's going to cause the binge eating, because you're going to be, you were looking forward to that. But if you don't look forward to it, fuck it. It's not that important to you. You know, the green beans are just there, but you don't really dig green bean casserole. Don't put that fucking shit on your plate. Put the fresh green beans on your plate. If the cranberry out of the can isn't your thing, don't put it on your plate. Just don't do it. If the gravy is lumpy, don't put it on your plate. Was this helpful, guys?
I like the idea of the 4-bite rule.
Yeah. Super helpful. And you'll learn more about refeeds as you get through the program too, Alyssa. Like that's, but we just don't call them cheat meals. But those of you that have been with us for a while, that's really what you want to look at these meals as, is refeed meals. And if you lean more into carbohydrates than you do fats, like, I mean, if there's, like I said, if there's something that's got a little bit more fat in it that you actually look forward to, utilize the 4-bite rule with it. But like, also think about like, when it comes to refeed meals, we always encourage you to have protein and carbohydrates as we start to teach you how to do that. So it's the same thing. It's the same concept. So
I think the other thing I would have done if I didn't join the call is I would have not done all my meals and said, oh, well, I'll just eat all my calories at one time, right? For Thanksgiving dinner. So I think that was helpful.
Yeah, never want to do that. Anytime, ever. Skipping meals is a bad idea. It's fastest way to crazy town.
Been there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just little things. It's things that we think, but just remember that, like I said, guys, the average person, you can use these facts as you watch people go, oh, they show up at the party at Thanksgiving dinner and they go, I haven't eaten all day, so I can eat. You can look at them and go, well, I had 5 meals today. This is my 6th meal, and I am still looking forward to dinner, and I probably won't consume 4,000 to 5,000 calories as they do. You can feel good about it. You can feel good about it because that's exactly, and can you see how easily that would happen? That's when you start to gain weight and spiral out of control. And of course, lean into, you know, your coaches, lean into the tribe. If you need help, we can help you plan it out. But your first step before you even ask for help is to come with a plan. We need to understand where you're at, where your events are at, what's priority to you, what is not. We can help you navigate a little bit, but don't come to us without a plan, okay? And then we can help you navigate and give you some ideas around them. You guys can bring, like, I love that Haley's been sharing, and she's going to continue to share through the holidays, just different spins on stuff for you. Basically what she's doing is giving you ideas. And I think I dropped one too, but she's also going to be giving you ideas of just taking certain things and spinning them. Not necessarily for you guys. I mean, you can do it in your meal plans, but also some of them are just to give you ideas of healthy versions of things that you can bring to events. So you actually, you know, even if you're making an entire meal yourself, you know, helping you create healthier versions. Cool. And whoever makes the pumpkin pie, protein pumpkin pie, do share. I want to know how that is. That sounded very yummy. Questions, concerns, thoughts? How you doing, Lieutenant? Oh,
Great. How are you?
I'm good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Good. Was this helpful?
Yes, very. Yeah, very helpful. It's a reminder, and I really like the part of because you've already eaten, it's not like you're going to overeat as opposed to not eating and going there to kind of splurge. So as long as you stay on your plan, then it's doable. Like, and then you have the 4 bites. But usually after the first two, I'm done. It just
Yeah.
doesn't taste that great. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you just nailed it. You get what I'm saying. Like at least you're a 2 bite person. Some people, but I
Yeah.
like I said, I guarantee you guys after 4, if you really are paying attention to it and not hoovering the food down, you're gonna go, oh, this actually has lost its luster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. We just don't think about it, right? It's the things we don't
Right.
think about. And if we actually think about it, like you just said, like after 2 bites, you're like, it's lost its
Yeah.
effect. Yeah. And then respect that. Now you've allowed yourself the indulgent, you didn't restrict yourself, you're happy, your body is like, yay, and you move on. Love it. You guys are all gonna cruise through the
Me
holidays
too.
with power. I can see it. Any other shares, guys? Y'all doing good?
I tell you one thing I'm going to pass on to my daughter. I'm going to pass on the tequila. You were talking about the tequila with the lime. It was something else I don't know if you said Tabasco sauce to make it
I put
spicy. Something you
jalapeno.
said, but I didn't get it.
So
Jalapeno.
definitely, I will
Okay.
drop the link to the Facebook training that Haley did because I think Haley and I actually break down that recipe in there. I don't know if you came in a
Okay.
little late. Um, you may not have heard this, but we did last year an entire training just around cocktails and mocktails. So I will drop it in the group underneath Convos with Jules so you guys can find it easily on my Facebook page. I think it's on my YouTube channel too. So I'll find it and drop it for you guys. I believe it's in the Tribe Talks, but we'll find it, send it to you. But anyway, to go back. So yes, it is white tequila, Lieutenant. Jalapeno, I can only do a slice of a jalapeno because that jalapeno, when it sits in the tequila, it'll just immediately, the tequila will take over the flavor of the jalapeno. I put lime in it. And then I use monk fruit or stevia because it gives you this sweet, salty taste, and then you salt the rim. So it's club soda,
Okay.
like a club soda or a seltzer, just something that's unflavored. White tequila. God, now I'm thinking about
Yeah.
it. I haven't had one in a while. Jalapeno, lime, and then add some stevia in there, and it takes the bite off the heat, but it is so good and then some pink Himalaya salt on it. So good. Just sip on that. But again, like I said, she gave some amazing ideas, like for mocktails that I never would have thought of ever. And some of them take, because a lot of times, you're just looking to participate. It's not necessarily about the alcohol, right? It's sometimes it's even the taste. And some of them taste just like alcohol, but they're not. Specifically when she uses the apple cider vinegar ones. Like that sounds terrible, but when you mix it with some of the things that she tells you to mix it, it tastes just like a cocktail, but it's a mocktail. And it's actually really good for you. Apple cider vinegar, you know? So yeah, I will drop that for you guys. But I love it. I hope this was helpful. And you guys are free to join the evening call too. We will probably Tuesday will be before we'll talk more about if you guys have questions about things before next Tuesday. I mean, obviously reach out to your coaches, but write them down too, because we'll have another call before the holidays and I can answer any questions that you guys have, but I'll also go through some more stuff too. Haley might be on this evening's call. So she's also, if you guys want to pop on that, I think she's going to try to make a couple of the evening calls before the holidays so she can talk to you guys a little bit too about some of the tweaks that you guys can make. She's really good at that stuff. Okay. Peace. I'm going to go for a walk.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.